One of the things which we, as a ministry, will have to do is work with the Attorney General's department and strengthen the legal department of the Ministry of Finance, as well as the MDAs, to ensure that the contracts that underlie these works protects the state. We shall also conduct the necessary audits and ensure that judgment debt it remains does not bother the Ghanaian population as it is now.
I have also noted with some concern some of the discomfort that our citizens are subjected to when they go and apply for visas, especially where there isn't a large enough holding center to allow people to simply sit and wait in a decent environment to see whether their application will be accepted or not. I think that is a matter that, as Foreign Minister, I can engage with the respective heads of missions over here and encourage them to do something more about it. And I think it would enhance the image of their countries for the Ghanaian public as a whole.
By the end of June, they will be able to complete about 72 units of this one. Therefore, we expect probably the first inhabitants of the affordable housing in Botema by June this year. There are other things about the affordable housing that is being done in respect of looking for private investors to partner up government to complete these blocks. So, Mr. Chairman, in the area of the affordable housing, that is what we are doing with a view of completing them for use by our citizens.
Yeah, more call me by the bar, Badwam, Jimmy, so come on, to the BIS, a show camera, so you need in come Africa, and I bet to him. But Oraj on board, your deputy communication director at the New Patriotic Party, Watanasea, Yede and Commonisha, so you be a much more cover.
Major Sonnet,
Bibi Aboko, Yamiadum, your papa, announce it.
Boko.
That, and Ramo, MPs now, Cordier. But minim kakra utie ana unya kwaya o hwe no ana ebi ade chimpo working kan the bon kratem nsem no mpanifo miensa a wo mkoy maame hana tete for foreign affairs FA Allergy Collins that water resources works and housing and ora Sektekwe Minister of Finance and Economic Planning one more chere say adwuma no mbetimi ayo.
Yo me das michia obia o hwe ne omo 18 said the kind minority in parliament, especially MPP, take decisions essence omujitumpa as president no based on evidence Ukraine and ono na o say aswani as president inti omo de asem no akọ court as the constitution demands inauguration and so oman could be now one could be a servant now say nipa na ordinary bana ye be vet no asan kotin. There's a principle
behind the boycott,
yeah. And almost can see so say issues ba na ye niema go beyond say ye declaration at the courts no now and still standard there they'll be part of it. This is the view they've espoused, and I don't think say anybody between me I can say how many rights say as minority if they assume in crying and they have the right to do so. Whatever, no dear, because we've seen in this country, for instance, national health insurance we boycott this for organize anything. Look, Dan Abodakwi, Mamma Dan Abodakwi, Sikasem, ne huko Dima. Yet the courts crying this boycott to parliament. You understand?
But I like as a boycott.
No, but the fact is that wait, we are saying yeah, but all right to do so. You understand? So that's the point.
The Bible says you are doing your own.
And your Bible says Bible no when define it the fata and the emphata. Then depending on situation, you know, and how best you believe and the principle behind it. When they mention handy, there are no kobema, and sometimes so I trade you for no do no kotu. No, I say, you know, no one said you okay. Sanya okay. You do an impress or more, yeah. One go to Bible, no. What am I saying? You do so or no boycott or any say or boycott, then you refuse a Bible like us. Sometimes you must be a bit cautious about some of these things. Said the okay, vetting process, no. Idea over the years, no. For me, no. Boa kakra. Unim say every 4 years you be vetiwa. Never be ayo as a minister no. Obehwe na ho amasem bebre. If you said a mere mention of it in public no cry adefofro. As to whether or not after vetting no say apart from say nipa na be on your registered voter and now on your citizen and on the age unqualified. Me who Ghana ha ya veti nipa on say deal with the paper and some more kicking pad on say minister this ya the man. You understand? So virtually no we can na ade na ye no akoye say much ado about nothing. Formality be and all that. So and no na hard thing. Senke ye na nipa betina on say more king. Uwa nsema nipa ken nya de a we do so be di minister nanka afenu ana omomo wo mu nyina begya tun se o nsema akeken de nya de wetime di minister mana yeye enti no yemfa politics nton chen na yen take decision in the interest of the country and no say no o can no say yes obipo an covet na utime use no de criticize no. So na me jeno na tie be call e be ka ni pe e bi onya de eventually e be pass it on no e am so be na e was because the same things the Collins that can be tie wa hai affordable house why enya ferious or mamu aye wo you spending over 70 million Ghana cedis last 4 years na abanya ba over 5,000 housing units na ya transia na nam Korea etua per diem ekoni nam he nyese sika no poda ha ekofo ye ekobo besia ade abesi anot te say I say agrobi de yedi so wade it has various stages of completion na weje no ato ho nyese sika bi nso da ba bi a wokofa o busia kra na wokobo aban ba enso wabo besia se aban bia wo wiase mu a in terms of our living as a country the time enya independence na se house o makobo besia bond 450 million inti senka besia bebre ayaboy just under 4 years ya bo besia over 24 billion Ghana cedis inti as per calculation honorable Collins Dada ebe cost additional 200. Who say last 4 years in Kaska we here be say 80 to 50 60 to 80 million penny are complete. The fact say they are too high for 4 years. Prices no cost even the air no cry no we need a lot more answer to me every. Inti as on mine no ya there na too high no. Ne ka say oh ye issue bond and I even here the yen to me here hwe ma ye hwen. Because Osha Sika MPP are buying the year. Hippic funds near the start about 40 million. Hippic funds and by the BR. What prevents the NDC from using the Hippic fund for such a massive housing project? About 1 million. What prevents them? It's the same thing or about okay we because
no across will be CB account 170,000
there were honor the okay
affordable housing
now but we see 120,000
but okay say UTL by June on be
oh please well sometimes some of these things sorry I no partner they be ever banners I say ya be can a hard dream because nobody is going to nobody is going to make sure say so one ya sanction ben put the wall.
But I don't know chima dreams as someone now can say parliament na ho. Not just say say parliament ni bi because no oversight responsibility and minister parliament assurances committee or ya oba na babo an ho ba bi obehye bobi a na so hwe say sa an ho ba na ebo na behye no di so. I don't know over the years intimi nye.
You know parliamentarians in the bar no be so. Oh, never be brave or honor. Yen, I'm say, I remember na able no. You find never for granted, and the populace in the crowd they don't even punish us for not doing what we ourselves have promised to do. Whatever, Jen. And nothing now be obipa ye bone po ko stand penny atoma no. Whatever, Jen. Obi a disca. Look, uti eh? There are a lot of constituencies. I don't know why you may stand there. I want to beat you. This is the country we have. So, sometimes, you know, detailed analysis of these things. Sometimes I say, oh, how? On finance, he's a temperate person, or you'll be a I don't know, those times. China loan 3 billion or no bow so ade yenya sika no you best start disbursement next year 50 kwete bow sika no ko magic kura yusu whatever jero o magic sika ni me wa sika in my so o kan bibi o say o ma ye first disbursement for gas no but omo per second disbursement no there are inconsistencies. Master facility no but the core you know any the omode courses here for drawdown no differences ewom eh then e ba na say differences wom enu ntino e be delay project no ntino or campus say or so omode call attorney general no mo kohwe even post say e ko ba na say or so omode call parliament they will bring it back to parliament and not sure say the idea about parliament. Na se nkofo complaining about ade na ye de abana ye yemfa overly partisan positions no ento nchani ehwemu ye wako look ade ye can sika 3 billion interest ye tua interest no the fact said there are inconsistencies na yemfa sika ne maaye no ye gusu tua interest no ye counterpart payment also ye tua as part of the project ye tua mo create sika no. The omo omo di amaye kakre bi na omo poni amaye nso a omo ankasa nso na ebe project no at the end of the day yesika di ama omo na no mbe invest no ma san di amaye ebe wie ni di omo kabubro omo san be ye adwuma no agisika nti be se 15-20 years na me ne ye bibia be bia na ye de ma brofi China foi wona me nti me gidi se ye near my yono any parliament because Oman Kasajitum at the tail end of parliament sitting. Almost say Oman Kasa value for money in terms of CB Omoji loan. So they need to even have because many a times the Omo year is about say the Ama Finance Committee, depending on how urgent the thing is no. Finance Committee and to me any value for money papa bia the osha say oh e bia company na se be masikano or capacity na sikano interest rate no as compared to the ben any edehwe o man kasa who say there's a need for more professionalism in terms of looking at the cost benefit analysis of loans ya de bromo iti minia ye woniema bebre as a country and we need to open our minds. Say MBA adwemu na de bia be no me NDC me MPP me QPP nti asem ne ba me party ne power nti che say once ebe kwa ba na yeah say be attention the be I move na watch it because some of the things no want to mean chechemu. There's no way you can explain it very well. Osha his thinking about taxes and I know there you can't fault him. In terms of taxes, so I'm saying yes, starting VAT crowd money omo and starting. Yeah, problem of this country really. Who man be na say informal sector swan as compared to formal sector our problem.
But yeah, the society.
Into your problem. And until you know, we won't say there's the link. Say, stock exchange, say almost capitalization increased by 1%. For be Ghana. And yes,
Can say no so me be ama informal.
Miss Minia, and consider because the Omoya was stock exchange, or no. And then the actual economy of the country, Ghana had to be increasing basic rates by 100 units. Any effect, yeah. So, one major problem I had with the NDC was a large informal sector. There are ways to be gradually to bring the informal sector in a formal way. Pension when you pass it, the normal pension, a 3-tier system. The other tier system, a far informal sector, was a major policy direction. Nka within a very short time, no, a lot of the people in the informal sector, no, you bet to me a capture
through the pensions.
Through the pension scheme. So, because the informal sector, because one, a company register, to me any accounts, to me assess for tax liability. What you do is to give them some percentage at the end of the month. Look, Ghana is more informal sector. So how do we even assess their income? At the end of the day, at the end of the month because we've not been able to do it. Strategically, so all the informal sector, in terms of our pension scheme for people outside the formal sector, Nani Paneji Tum say every month, ube to make even 10 Ghana cedis. Ube register no. Register now. Over the period, you can use that as a basis of even granting the person loan. Over the period, with proper arrangement, ube to register a company amano. Over the period, when young people are in preparing and maintaining his books. Within 3-4 years, say formally, what you mean I capture no? It's based on even that you can now assess his income. Look, and me can say obi enkoye environmental impact assessment be mamina. Me project be now. Oh yeah, Bobo. So Obeji say 16,000 Ghana. I say, hey, Master, no say carpenter for offer almost all Mumbai ujuma no. I know mojo. What to painting in your manina? Dear Otiakas, I know what you say. Sikon bejo no, tax be any baby. Macy, no confirm Macy is on by idea ma. Otwicha, Otwicha foundation shall see where me are. Maybe 8 million, maybe 10 million. And one of Beji. You understand? How do we capture these people? Ubekaya, in 2010, I'm so particular about taxation because Osha Ghana, Sibia, your economy is city. And Osha Sibia, your economy is air qua. You're careful, you to manage your in terms of the wage bill, your work as a country. More so where Osha contribution of the various sectors. Any baby, the chunk of the GDP is coming from mobilizing internal and domestic resources.
Currently, the terrible because
no, yeah, that's what because we are operating what we call single treasury accounts, we no na hair sometimes so because of politics you know nipa ni made na so because of person can gain see MPP and all can gain see no aye ne say ya di boni bia at the end of the month so ban wage bill ya 5 billion because you operate single treasury account in it no say sike bi da baby na aban wage bill no enso ya on kasa aban nkobo besia no fa meka ho ntua workers ka uko yi sa sika no na de uwie na osande akosha mama typical example Eurobond no for
na fifi ko te se mo kwaje
bi just we so ade a bone a ubisa ho se bi obi onte finance ase no or can I will excuse the person but obi a wo ade anim knowing very well so wakoji sa sika da ho na wo se boso me aso aka best 5 million Ghana cedi me de be ka ho no me kwaji treasury bill na metua ho interest na sika na me wo hodada o nye se afi na okope no I said it doesn't make sense.
It's a set
for me he's somebody as well. I hold a high opinion of him. He's honest in terms of giving facts, in terms of explaining things. Adiano and yet and on to me now challenges because we all need these challenges to resolve because we solve one challenge, you know.
They create another.
There's a need for an oversight. I must be able to be looking at the Ministry of Finance and be pointing out on a daily basis challenges are ever as a result of new things are yedeba. Because also say nipa na onu yejuma the moment a challenge wo no say people are taking advantage of the challenge to make money. Who resolve baako I say for instance on this thing about passport who did say immigration for we in charge of nim say the passport issuance code district
because member baako be say
me say nim ana
some say for now it is at the regions. But somebody is benefiting from the current system. But overall, no, which is a minority for our anchor, no, a far be to key something away from.
Oh, send it. Obviously, say, sometimes who can it be brea? One share now we indict members now almost no. As if say
majority,
as if say we are minority. Pen with me, I pointed out. India my critical. On the no. What
to be fair, you judge majority for no, na come minority.
There be channel. Team the American team na wa mama because man chiremu here answer baby before me patch say you very careful in talking about omamba no. Omamba nchire say enu nti no. Omantimi anya de also omoye. And we should not expect say they be just a minority. And I will point it out if there are even negatives. Ordinarily, in an ideal situation, because the Constitution itself, recognizes the need for a committee to have both parties or all the sides or different shades of opinion to be part of the committee. Until it takes something small, but that is not to say the fact that they were not there and a majority need to. So,
but Wankas, how do you read the performance?
But you know, I won't do that.
Why?
But why should I do that? I won't.
Kojo, I am watching Wakaba. Honorable Swagger, the Swagger General. Bibiaboko. Nyamiase. Yes, I say every a friend is saying ministerial vetting. But Kojo, no, I blast out to me in 1 pound 1 for flag here, man.
Yes, I am a card.
My mom confirm.
Oh, also in your dear, why should you put him not the best or can? Also in your double.
Honestly, let me be very honest. I am not impressed.
I'm impressed.
I am not. You know, you see the enthusiasm with which I came to sit here last week. Maybe Shas, you know, I'm doom. And you know, honestly, they will have to prove me wrong by like Utopia or my commentary and they were all asking for them to up their game. So we are that live wire is off, and I say is disconnected. So into ama team now ordinary, and I also add one thing. Say the other teams are not faring very well.
This year in a tournament,
the other teams are not faring very well. Into ama like I don't know how to explain it, but it's really drab. The word drab seems to, you know, encompass and encapsulate the very you of the tournament. As a drab, as a so now another she be at 10 times.
But minimum say ebia. I say the hunger and the test is not there because it be a last year you know. I say a common new papa.
Well, I will also say the political climate in the country has something to do with it. The way Nema Shishe, so you know, the two political parties who had the majority of the voters are casting some on the whole system.
Yeah,
of course, it's part of it because if people. NPP is not happy, NDC is also not feeling too good. Say we are winning elections now. I'm OBC. You know, all of those things have taken that joy. And the fact that team also performing in a manner, people are, you know, you understand? Yeah, share match and all right, but not with the kind of I think Kwesi Appiah has a lot of work to do. Maybe by now he's regretting for not sending some people to the team to the tournament, and also Ekanhu, because at this point, Oshe Mali team now there is a live wire. Yes, wow. When the team is even out of he carries the team on his shoulders. And his incursions and his Asamajan as a captain doesn't seem to have that strong on the team, like what's the word? That strong presence on his charges on the field of play, and his motivational. We know in you need such leadership on the field of play when things go wrong, and as a nearman kuya. Obetimia ginger, a man for spirit. Everybody seems to be playing what they know. You know, we have skillful players and all about teamwork, tactical discipline. Flanks, say be a man for to me, ball, the far hall crossing, you know, be a ball, then I'm 51 and so well. I mean, instruction I could see up here at the team, but I think. His performance so far leaves a lot to desire.
Mawati, yeah, that's it. But me take your thoughts or vetting.
Well, say Enra was very. Just that one thing I didn't like about the whole thing was the time. I said there was so much.
Almost too many
because of Ghana match. No, if that was.
But it's important. Sure, also they are okay. The political atmosphere, climate, or climate, have an effect on the even enthusiasm of what they. You can't be having Ghana Black Star playing.
That's what I'm saying. So why did they choose yesterday?
Maybe they could have done it by 2 upon.
That's what they tried to do. Numbers, no. From I think 6 almost for 3 but you know I thought say if that was going to remain a constraint or not a restraint, then we should have done it maybe a ne. Saturday You get my point. We could have rearranged something, and because that pressure now, as a done also to finish by a certain time, you know, put amount for people question, follow up. I say everybody has one question and all of that. That was the part but I think the questions were very critical. Okay, and for Obi to say Setekpe, in his CV, when they were doing the analysis of his CV, I felt so proud of him. Say, you know, he never left any space. Say, growing up as a student, and even when he found a job, just a space he was filling it in with something. Whilst he was in ICA, and you know, and for me that was very impressive. I felt very proud, and I wish I could do a thing like that, you know. And he answered the questions or questions at the man also, or to me, I know, like John said, you know, his demeanor even makes it better. The way I tonobo a church and say more answer the questions near the end. You don't see that say why you agitated, or even when the question say I know you didn't say then crana. He tries to first, because Baba Jama question be obisa cry say speaker ma rule no out no. You know, he still went ahead to, you know, polish the issues very well.
Because I say before I be calling not who finance ministry on papa no penny part.
Well, yeah, I work parliament crano. You know, Sabi, he comes there every week. He's I can say the composition, the way the exposure and you'll be honest, you share best actual. You understand? But it doesn't mean say on pewasem. And I want us to make that distinction. If you be share, and you'll be able to me who one day cry na ultimate picture to the team. So who me no me answer what me share so say as a senior and as a senior. And you know, the ministry is a huge place. Being Kase, I'm not holding brief for him. Is he doing his work right? Is he competent to manage the job? And his answer on the mind, Sabi be in his line of duty, or nowhere or be a jumanti, or nowhere one or two brushes. Doesn't mean say affect the competence. And no true now, Jidi say or amount for share. It's not like you get up in the morning and you smile to everybody and shake their hands and drink tea together. And no never we say waiting a year, Juma, and I say, oh yeah, no, that's not the point. It's about going to work and making sure say the work is done and done diligently. I think his answers were accurate, and he showed the my own so the Juma people were of the view so Juma say no beer or yeah. Akukudro is not about how you look or how tall or short or the tone of your voice. And I say, BB, I think it's an arduous task, and we share the experience. Why or war any places why Juma to say Juma bia obetimi aye, and I didn't even know say he was that old. 1957, meaning say about 56, 55, and 56. And he doesn't look it. He looks much, much younger than that age. And for me, I think he will be able to perform diligently to Ghanaians. And like John said, he sounds honest. You understand? So I think that is fair. The others, I think Hannah do baby exactly. Of course, the issue about foreign policy and you know what they term the economic diplomacy. Those were the new phrases we became so familiar with. And And even that question, Muputu ma set cry answer. And also by Honorable Muntaka also pushed that same issue. Exactly. And I think she's somebody I have a lot of respect for, because or even to say she tries to cover as much areas as she can. She's the one word that I would want to characterize her with, versatile. You understand? And she comes across as such a person. And I believe, say, they are career diplomats and so on. But once I hear politician there, you hear say your political stability. We are stable. You understand what politics is all about, and the outlook of whatever government you are serving. Very you with you. You can only add up to it, because say, this is our agenda. This is what our manifesto wants to take us regarding this particular area. With that in mind, all you need, because you see one other thing. The ministry's work, there's a whole administration in place. Say minister, they could have run their ministry without a minister. So they have the chief director, they have other directors of various departments of the ministry. One man show, I mean, there are best practices that one can also work conventions. There are already protocols. Then you ratify as a country. Those are the things you acquiesce yourself with, and then as you go about the job, you learn on it. Me feel say she also she and you need that eloquence, and also here when it comes to explaining issues. And I think when it comes to data, she has what it takes to play that role very well. Alaji Collins Dauda also, I think my only disappointment was about the question that was asked, and I thought, say, for him to even, because he ended up giving the information that the person who asked the question was expecting, but he made a remark, say he doesn't know so much about it. Do you get my point? And but he ended up answering the question. I thought that remark was not necessary then, because whatever he said was what the situation really is. You get my point? So sometimes in answering certain questions, one has to be concise as to what it is and what remarks to make. But all in all, I think it was critical. The questions were not like, NDC4 and as a majority for one
next question.
I didn't see that. I mean, there were some witty and friends and questions that were asked. Even the people who asked on a lighter note and all of that, those were there. But of course, Okujetua Blackwa's questions, especially to Anatete, was very solid, very critical, and questions are agitated amount for Adrian already. And for me, I think it was I mean, I will say everything went well. The minority, again, I think, say they are thinking of reconsidering.
And now have person or say chairman someone say they may
right. If they because I think they've come under some kind of pressure to because you see, for me they hear minor you come to Parliament. One of the topics I ever can wasem sika sika edema omo
50,000 moji de ko high
masa me ni hobby
oje 30,000 ono na person oje 30,000
waje ba kuma eno ye kan wasem afi na o we ti e nyina be bom
right ye be kan nyina wasem but the point the point is that you see, in the minds of the Ghanaian, no, if you said omo boy huka, do you understand? Like omo boy huka hunu self-impressed, but they think they are Ghanaians think say omo ne boy huka intino. We have that responsibility to also kana omo boy huno so ma omo hum faso. So and so one other question I mean Bisan say, oh you see omo principle almost so-called explanation omo de mai ni ntia omo nko can minority omo nko can majority for huma yenye ayi ne say omo omo fusa omo asem wo court na asem omo de court no say niema betimi asesa na niema asesa omo a mrebi a ahia na say bibi a parliament aye na say dwumadi bi a wadi a betimi adani biom and as so much biom because of the outcome of the court no person be part of it. So now Sabio, why will they want to be one-sided? Say court in the assembly now the what judge say a bit me as santino. Now Juma say would a net answer. Sans Sayana Bano, would ja a Juma not to her because Sayano and my. For me, it's a problematic issue. Number two, Obe Bisa who say CIA almost say Sasemi almost pay bibi a bit me assessment. Granting say ya approve sa ministers. Na assembly so yendi we aso almost ministers ba parliament. Na almost ba belay papers. Will they boycott proceedings in parliament?
So maybe sir Dominic need to also deal with it case by case.
See, that is a very, excuse my language, childish answer. Childish, very, very childish. I heard that answer and I thought it was very childish. Case by case, anything. Do you understand? Most of the cases we deal with in parliament, every presidency and ever, almost everything we talk about, mention them. Every paper that is released, in free ministry way, in free department way, the departments don't hang on themselves. They need approval from cabinet and some about parliament. And this cabinet, who chairs cabinet?
The president.
Yes. And this president is considered to be illegitimate. His appointees, ministers, are considered to be illegitimate. You understand?
I think I will have wished you manner withdraw such charges no kind. I will have wished so. Because yes, analysis be a mayor no. You know, maybe or not say a charges. I don't think we need to get there. You could use maybe our own agree. But it doesn't mean say reason or minor charge because the point. Let me go for that, Mr.
Sounding defensive, you know.
No, but I think no. For
want of a better word.
David. Oh, but me still there are better ways and ways. Oh, I didn't say when I agree. It's okay.
No.
But for you to say
because we've all been in parliament.
I hope say no matter what. No matter what. So make his statement. Who make his statements anyway. Number na undi ho. Na me ne agree. Now me end up say some kind of charges. I don't think I've been fair.
You don't have to be everywhere. No. I mean, it is what you said. Which we are analyzing.
I don't think I've been fair to you.
No.
There are people that will accept Debbie.
John, I am not attacking the man.
No,
it is what he said. And that one, it is subject to scrutiny.
You know, sir, you could have used better ways of describing or expressing your disagreement.
I have used the best word that I think describes what he said. Not him. Well, you are making it sound as if
because
it is the person we are talking about. It is what he said.
No, it is not proper.
Case by case, anything.
It is not proper. Case by case, anything. Say issues, but because it is not. Please, me tell. Dear Eternese, nobody is saying as we speak now, say the president is illegitimate president. Nobody. Until who can say, yes, say, or you're illegitimate president, any illegitimate ministers are. Where are you getting that from?
No, maybe you are not listening.
No, where are you getting that from?
Maybe you are not listening.
Listening to who? Where are you getting?
People are talking everywhere.
The fact says, Obi,
yeah, people are talking everywhere.
Oh, me no, exactly. People are talking.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
No, but we can't only sit in this studio and behave as if whatever we have to do must come from here.
I think that it would be appropriate.
No, I think the general understanding out there.
Kojo. So the channel. Yeah, but try me no kasa. Yeah, because yes, I met me use just anybody from your party who has made outrageous statements to conclude. No, that
you say it all the time.
What can say? Say you could have put it in a better way.
John,
yes, I want to because one
the point is
the fact say, for instance, the fact say me why me did say President Mama and win the election no. And say, oh, you're illegitimate.
That's
because the constitution, me no tear because people bang because the body papa good thing.
No,
when you almost say a case now so a court no, see a dinner dima MPP or unresponsible cool no. Because I can't be one. Me say, you're money kind. Does that make sense? So you're a lawyer. Aunim mra sibiete.
No, sir.
Now name
the same thing.
Withdraw.
No, withdraw. Forget it. I mean withdraw.
But we have best sponsor or so best support.
Oh, jai.
Oh no,
Jai. Go for cancer ma enya.
Me can say you. I'm only telling you. I'm saying no kind.
Oh, and tell me Miss Me TV. Well, go for cancer ma enya. Ma yes so. I want to believe, say.
Time no deal with the issues.
Who now host to programming? I said who now host to program? I want
to spend like 8 minutes, telling.
But your man can answer. JB, me and you. I kasa. Utimi kasa. Wa huma need them.
I want to believe, say, as a country, yeah, grow. We've not even gotten to such situation in our country history, in our democracy before. There may be reasons and call for them. It may sound not correct with you. With you, maybe as your analysis, no. Eventually, it may turn up to be a good reason. Because if we are see yenim BBA, it is this kind of poo-pooing, no, and a critical. Because one. Obi Krama, typical example say, yes, Obi this Honorable Samson. Eko can say minority ne ba your friend is saying vetting na appointment committee na they will insist say omufi on call because they don't. You know, these are some of the you're very careful.
More patch also.
Even in the analysis, I hear any principle. A bit to have to Ben Penso be a bit to say. In the interest of ABC, you know, yenye say, and I am cause our direction. Look, as I work out, if you have banocracy, a bit DAV, I can say, oh, because of A, B, and C, you know, there was a massive distance in the uncle re-election. Now, do bet you can say, uncle, yeah, you understand? Yeah, dear, as a people, no, my yes say, yenya obina ye titenenam. No, it's a country you develop. Until we are very, very careful about some of about some of. Oh, they do. And then the other major.
Text messages 1760, email cover at myjoyonline.com. Say catch on our swagger so many who ye papa. Ne ho ayefe Mina and Adebayo. Mina.
Sometimes Bema almost.
Bema be the Mina.
Bone to bone.
Oh right.
I say, how can okay, but where are you see here no? Again, your body say we could have used better words. my main has made me a substitute to a word now. Okay, Gabriel Intermali, let me skip it and call. John Bodu, you are overwhelmed. Okaya baby, if you're bossy. Overwhelmed by what? I mean,
maybe I'm not just. We are overwhelming. It's possible to say points I may make and then need
if you saw no pattern, when you so blue.
Oh, sir. You know that is not possible.
Text messages. Wait, or say, or if your bossy old is stated by a J. If you come ask about say if the young patriots are asking whether Dr. Robe is are asking Dr. Robe to shut up because he formed the Union Party, they should also know that Akufo-Addo was also a member of Dodo and Twaso. Or say a former Nigerian item say that though tribe and term may differ, together we stand. All members of the MPP who have come public to insult the integrity of NEC should be dismissed from the party. No one is above the law. Protozoa and or the brain or say opposition parliamentarians should not make an attempt of backtracking their decision to vet the new ministers. Otherwise, they will face a barrage of criticism they have never heard before. If they think they will help them, they should continue that path. Alaji Willie P. if you come on the brain or say tell John Boydu to keep quiet because yesterday when the majority were vetting, where were they? John, for Anutum, Kojo, if you have for North and the brain. Kaba, I could see the MPP man is struggling. Also, you can see that he is struggling to make his point. What does he mean? I don't get him at all. Say force any things in one of the brain. Rekurobe and those minority members of AFAC are just trying to. Where do you see me? Made them about so now. Where do you made them about so now? I know Passy and Kwadani if we United TV. Protozoa. Who the whole West CBI also use power. You mean to me, Kyle? I don't see why the MPP should comment on yesterday's vetting. John Bodu, are you comfortable discussing this? You people are being in opposition. Francis said if you McCarthy or on Krahera or the brain. Kaba tell John Bodu to stop behaving like an angel. He and his party did the same he and his party did the same thing when they were in power for 8 years. Honorable Yeboah Stephen in and they by the end of in 8 years. One can't share. Kaba, please. The MPP is increasingly becoming West in the moment in Yakasa 2013 in Asumjemra. Kaba, why can't anyone remind the MPP that they also boycotted the VAT bill in Parliament, the NHIL and the VAT bill, which one is more important to the Ghanaian economy. See, how can our parliamentarians be giving 500 million as rent allowance when there's no job for the youth of this country? Neti, if you say you are so. I'll say, Kaba, if the president is to face the ICC, would the NDC be allowed to join? And would they have joined at all? Unless in Sunyai and on the brain. Kaba, I want to ask you this. The MPP refused to go to vetting. Now, if they lose their court case, would they work with those ministers they are calling rubber stamps? My name is Marsh from Kutubabi here in Accra. Marsh, and yeah, of course, so Mulusu court case now. If they lose the court case, of course, they have no option but to work with these ministers. And then the text messages about. I don't know, it's near Tosumi, Ebeto MPs to receive 500 million, 50,000 Ghana cedis. Why MP that? And as recent as last year, since the amount for the donor Akaseti, I said, a dose dodo. Imani for Akaseti, I said, dose dodo.
Yo, I'm say, sometimes I want to, and I'm present bizarre questions. Yes. Oh yeah. Who di brebia? Sebio taflache. O level. And the share near who deserve to say at the man. How the the category constitution no e de wa share. And no nature near SSA at the man. MPs ba ye na sa dan ya judges any state officials,
ministers,
they are the titimu. Ya mo mubi and no mutimwa. Anka hwan and sorry adopa na yede sa asem abeto danim na wedi hu kotenkita. Edi ni ho sa. And these are Article 71 office holders. Sabi, sa dan ministers team or cantonments, ridge, ne Kikalaboni, ne airport ne ade. So rent dan 1 day, 1 month, Uko high ordinary 3-bedroom house, ewo ridge. Uko high 3-bedroom or cantonments. Uko high 3 bedrooms, ewo airport. How much is it? Minimum $3,000-4,000. Me found $3,000
a month.
A month. $3,000, so not cedis. $3,000 a month, no. How much is it in cedi terms? We are talking close to 6,000 Ghana cedis a month. 6,000 Ghana cedis. 1 year rent. Multiply. 2 years rent. Multiply. Then I think we'll be doing analysis of the issues properly. And yes, I bet now, 500,000. You see, for me, that is not the issue. Because you were notary public. Yeah, buying Nipa, or take cantonment, or take Daya, Sebi, the garage, and the yard credit down here about an acre. How much when we quantify? Says if we quantified it in commercial terms, and the slappy in terms of value, those are the things we should be doing. Say, yes, sir. Na bet now, na ya kasa to say you ye the MPs are and na said we wouldn't even know. They say John Boedu na sebi menye say me the whole year. Yes,
family.
Wo the minimum se kaba na minimum o ye sebi bob no rank unika unishi wakwakodu
bicycle crime nibi.
It is not you kaba sebi. It is the office. The office, that Article 71 office holder, that particular office, you know, and who has so when you leave all MPs now and you come to the public service, all other Article 71 commissioners of EC, judges, any senior notary judiciary service for Omote, where do they live? Please, for me, when we continue in this tangent, one day we will not get the quality of people who will go and make laws for us. Because at the end of the day, if I feel, say me feel that me because I am entitled to it. I am entitled to it. Now the man now sign did my term there. Why will I?
There are suggestions say to send ya judges who are more baby or mote civil servants or baby or mote ni ade no. Nka yensi duty post to say niana was akomo no bia ya tonton yi. Na ka say any me fi kasapen na me MP ho a meba no na me dan ni si ho. Me wie me duty na me wie na me constituency yi me free ho a nipa oba be si manan na sa dan no ho no so ba. You
see, parliamentary service for and a transit service board, they sit down and take these decisions. So Danya ya tunton enye MP. Ne sorry yes ye ton Danya I was akumono. Anaza ne wo Ajinga no Tasako area. It was not the MPs who decided. It is the parliamentary service board made up of the speaker, the clerk, and some members of parliament, plus some friends say, I think they co-opt other past MPs at the FRA. It is not a decision made by any MP, say, yeah, turn it down. So nobody should hang that issue on a particular MP because, or no, Ababe parliament. The issue again is that, in principle, I would have loved, say, Nka enye flats. So other people, jurisdictions, they've built like parliamentary village. So even Nigeria, almost seen it. No more will be, sir. But as I speak to you now, it's been sold. Because maintenance, they have a whole big place, but now it's being sold to people who showed interest. So there are other places also. Still, they have that, but the kind of houses we had were Sakumono. For me, it was a yesri, a 2-bedroom house for an MP with 4 children, 3 children, and all of that. I think it was a laughing issue. Well, Bibia, yeah, serious assistance situation where we have to sit down as a nation and plan what to do with it.
What is the way forward in solving this problem?
Yes, this is not a problem because for me, a hypocrisy that you media people.
Hey,
yes,
yeah, media.
Yes, because when I would have loved saying the electoral commission, if we can notary public for the account, those people and state heads of friends parastatals. Say yeah, NHI, so say yeah, DNU, lump it all together and let's see who is taking higher rent.
Okay.
Do you understand? Is us and your MPs there?
We pick on the MPs. I don't know.
The chopping boys of the times. Obia, sorry. Now, hey, MPs, hey, amuya kronfo near the Aslam, amuya say near the Aslam. For me, I feel say, and then the same people will turn around and go and contest primaries and want to go to the same house. For me, that thing, we should resolve this matter once and for all. Beyond that, no, let me also say, important, say, housing will be taken very seriously. And yet, just because of MPs. Housing in general. Exactly. That is the point I'm coming to say.
2-bedroom house who could pay is
before say corruption and we haven't been able to meet the housing demand on this country because you say customs for your for customs officer OUS can a dine and or person ODC a police near OUS can or GG or PB at your sedan. Yes, sit down be a man. And Uncle Nim say, me a Juma 3 years, 4 years, I'm entitled to enter a 2-bedroom house. Now a bibia a bayan kasa plan a dao, who you teacher new, who you nurse new, who you driver, who you DNU. When you follow a certain year, once soon him say 5 years experience in a particular, he can lead me to own this way. From people who will not go and buy their own land, buy their own cement, buy their own sand to go. We have to tackle housing as an issue holistically, so that all of these challenges will dovetail into that issue.
JB, Papa Benson, you befa, you beat me, Asosa or Haliano.
Oh, my own. Don't see me near address, I can say. Fine. Yeah, over the years, you criticize your home unjustifiably. It's say ebia mean ni a hobby. Ebia mean can hobby. Ebia nyama buying a hontino. A dear be ye in order to make sure say Juma ye de ama A or B no obe to me a ye manesi aseno. Hey Ghana ye to pijo ema MP square no cry ye asem
1981.
You know, we've bastardized ourselves over the years. In terms of finding, say, Pekwan be faswa, MPs be comfortable. Yes, try. Like he said, 1992, is flats the moment. By 96, 97, and some years be ban and home sense near the balance almost. You know, yeah, the balance almost father. Later, I will say MPs, no, Parliamentary Service Board, echo high on one casa, echo high places for them. The cost of maintaining those places is approved with 500 million almost every year or in 2 years. And the difficulties they were having, we got high dynamo, will be also
initially at least for 3 months.
High hotel a day, and the hotel I have my empty. Maybe I didn't got to so chop here. We so many. Cost per day, no.
Yeah, inflating, no.
Yeah, watch the wa on the material. No. Ude ma buying yes or go paint it down be. a dying kekayeko painting. Look, sometimes I buy your friend is saying Titina or something that's the now there was one show Odi or so ye Juma wa bem. Or say or no abain. Obe we abain sama neba abain ba esum ebisanse papa na de. Say okun abain. Okuno wiane kuno. So inti yankasa yene ye.
Who's that? Okay, we are okay. We're 30 years.
Yankasa yene ye na odi abo we. Abo ne it's later here no okofa lawyer that the here share.
Mo nyumbi omo to sa episode ni. I said mumbungu mushyengu me yaba nipa. Petrol and electricity problem.
I'm just reminding Godfor of Nehemiah. Nina was part of our social re-engineering to draw attention to Nehemiah. For me, Minjini say to me, Enya the correct mix so far. Emma a month for your taxes no. And JB because of you 500 million, 500 million, Krobi on say an robber see her. Not so robo. Promo in a Yakota. I say now we mo a friend is saying Cote d'Ivoire and Omone Ethiopia for an Bobo as a day. Give it, Omone Hamlin about first match.
Ethiopia.
Cote d'Ivoire, Cote d'Ivoire,
Togo na boy.
There was the match via
first match.
There was a match via. Say player back no. Sika Ojino. E bet me talk a vet players ninja as a top coach account. Just the value of the player. So, inti say yeti sika ni say ya. Eson won and honestly speaking, sika won go for bebre ni so. So, until go for best start your company.
And for a lot of people, no, not the fact that 50,000, you know, but almost a accumulation of 275 times 50,000.
Obviously.
Oh, here quantum,
no, obviously,
that's not fair.
Man, not sure.
If you leave it in isolation.
Man, not
if you calculate it in
I
isolation.
have a problem with the way buying comfort dependent on a buying. In terms of other service holders.
Because we can say President Kufuor, one argument about and say, oh, pay the MPs so much. No one company dying. Sa rent ni na na di na
me ba ho. A ho in assembly that because social 500 on what basis near they calculate here? So let me tell you.
Current rate.
On what basis near they calculate here? Is it based on say because of Article 71 office holder he's entitled to rent allowance? Rent allowance no a different percentage of his salary. So let me tell you, percentage of his salary no, and no they are calculating at 4 years 500 million. Because one to me and church and no sumo na koba say oh last 4 years so much 300 million. This year much into big project say by 2016 I don't 800 ebema primaries aye den pa going forward when I was say basis for calculating this no is important. Is it also say a percentage of salary per month now and a year for a year yanka say ya to say illegal to pay rent advance into yanka from policy standpoint no Yema
legitimize no.
Yema MPCK non 20 for 4 years. I don't keep scanning for 4 years.
You see,
no, but I'm only raising the
okay.
issues. I'm only raising the issues. Then can me feel say ebe boa ebe ma outrage ne beba form kakra. You calculate say oh, rent allowance here 20% of your allowance of your salary and 30%. Ebia for 1 year ni yentu amount. Subsequent years no say beba naturally enye sika esum bia obi poverty because not normal because look master say they are raising you know uko positions bi Ghana ha no ma o she wase say we na a minister but on no enjoyment or enjoy no ben ho kakra
CEOs no
yo uko we Cocoa Board chief executive aka say adege so
VRA
uko we VRA Port and Harbour
Ministry of Energy
Port and Harbour look Accra Mayor of Accra the powers of Accra be an associate regional minister you understand it ye hwe ni nyina in holistic and say ye hwe MPs for there because other office holders no enya sankitwa because me gidi o ye MP u kai de man okra wa na akobo bisia
wa na betua
na utia na kakaka you understand meanwhile other officers chief executive board chairman is animal many of them no cars free nya one at their disposal back and call will make servant, garden boy, this, on your rent, on your light bill, on your water bill, on your electricity, on your friend is saying telephone, both at office, at home. It's buying the super papa in terms of cost to a buying. It's messy. When your BBA, LBA, MP for the raise issue. Me and Yen said the Yen Dano. You raise the issue, no? Near discussion in all
holistic.
Near Shakwe Befaswa, if say chief executives deserve XYZ. Obi Beka say Paris Pazou. MPs so no then they bet to me I am against a situation. Yen see village MPs in Kwa na ukonya Osama bin Laden ko for MPs in here one day. Cost of maintaining those places no cry outrageous. You understand? Because for instance who ye MP now would do who here village men akotena na wako parliament who osu who ablekuma south who you understand it be a need assessment kra no
I say o kan say ministers so there san ka so be
the ministers for instance ministerial work you know some of them require say you must always be available even in parliament no kra no here come 50,000. My leadership is almost down with him. You understand? Some of them require say.
So 50, be call.
Some of them, because of the nature of their work and duties, they are required to always be available and closer to government. Until ministers, they are not to me and Shenesa. But needs assessment. Now you put to the total government machinery.
But John, I have a problem with the media on this.
Seriously,
because even when it comes, it's not correct.
But yeah, most yeah, come there now. Yeah, most munkofa other ones no family. But Brett ya ntimi aka rekum be ni young preacher fast 7 sure say commodity no beto aso ye fie money and mountain so but none of paper before be boy ma ye din commodity na ebre
time me aka 6 minutes
time aso I prompted me several times every time aso obviously first of Kojo Edra sorry honorable swagger
MPP for my bribes am yenka
I want my bribe
say it to me my bribe
me on that can't be say no
eno ane the refrain in town
Kojo Edra sorry honorable swagger general former member of parliament the Ma Adenta constituency Kojo Edra sisa no pe obesra na boy sanso na yenua John Boadu deputy communication director at the New Patriotic Party. And come idea no, you resolve all the issues here, needs-based assessment, and the idea in Nigeria na ye comparative analysis, na ye na intimi hu na uti kind of crass and here now ye marshal Zubia na tesa na yankobu entenchia. Yes, sorry, so na ya brefo the fisem the ebre kusise no ndu ye dwumadi enu nyina no ebeko na wie. Shalom, peace be with you.